Hi, I'm David and welcome to Leisure Bit. And today we've got the second part of the booking campsites vlog. And I hope you find this useful, but we get into much more practical details of doing the bookings, and we've also got some free templates that you may find useful, which you can get from our website. So let's get cracking. So just before we get started, I just wanted to wish you a really happy, healthy and adventurous new year. And I hope you get loads of time out in your van. And if your van hasn't come yet, I hope it comes really quickly. I'm hoping mine shouldn't be too much longer now. Just still waiting for the registration, but we're not far off. Anyway, today's vlog's the second part of the booking campsites. If you haven't seen the first one, check the link on the playlist below and you can see the first part of it, which will go into some of the methods around booking. Today it's about bringing that to life a little bit and showing you how we go about booking specific campsites. Today I've done it on the computer, so let's take a look. So I've gone on to the search for sites website. Last time we looked at it on the app, this time it's on the website, and we've homed in on the Lake District, so I'm just going to expand that out so that we can see it a little better. So where do we want to go today? Keswick. So just home in there. Actually, there's one I quite fancy. I've been there before, so let's home in on that one. And we can just zoom in as we need to get to the point that we want. Slightly too much there. But let's select this one. So that's Castlerigg Hall. It's an independent campsite, so we'll click on to get more details, and that takes us to the details screen here. You can see more information about it. Also note the rating there, which is 8.63 out of 10. It's open from March to October, and let's assume here we want to go in March, so let's head over to their website and go through the process to make a booking. So we land on the screen, we'll hit book now, and then what type of accommodation is it? We've got, put down a campervan, vehicle length 6 metres, just move that up a little bit, arrival date, they don't open till March, so let's just pick a date, let's say 23rd of March, let's say it's for 1 night, 2 adults and 1 pet, so let's search there. And then after a few seconds it brings us back the details, and we've got a number of different options of pitches to choose from here. So we've got a hookup only, we've got a standard which comes with a water tap and grey waste, we've got another standard but a little bit lower down, and then we've got a superior. Let's just go for the hookup only. And then we get a list of options to choose for, which is quite handy on some of these sites, so that you can actually home in on which particular pitch you want if you've got a favourite or just fancy a particular area. We can click on and view the map of the site, so we can see there the layout of the site, and you come in this way and then you can see the different areas as we go across there. So let's just pick this first one as an example, and then we've got an option to make a donation to the Lake District Visitor Payback Scheme. We can add an additional car, or we can add a gazebo, and then we continue, and then we get on to where we can enter our details and then continue on to complete the booking and go through. This site's quite good because it shows us when we've got availability, so it's quite helpful as we go through that process. So now that we've made the booking for Castlerigg Hall, we're going to actually transfer it into our campsites bookings template. And as mentioned in the previous video, there's a couple of different ways of doing this. You can either do it in Excel or Word, and I'll pop the templates on the website, the link to them in the description. This is the template I'm using this year in Excel. We've got a calendar here, which we can use to mark up when we've finished which days we've booked, and we've got then a list to add in the information. So we booked the 24th of March 2022 to the 25th of March 22, 1 night, and the campsite name was Castlerigg Hall. Campsite locations Keswick, and the campsite address we can grab from the website. So if we go back to there, we can see here it's CA1240E is the postcode. So we'll pop that in. It's worth noting when pasting into Excel, if you paste into the little box at the top here, it doesn't then bring across any formatting from the website. I'm just going to put Keswick in there so I know where it is, but we'd normally copy and paste across the full address. And it's approximately 100 miles, which is probably about an hour and 45 by the time we messed on, but you can check that out on Google Maps. So what's quite good in Google is you can often find the sites and things directly on them, and if we then press directions, and that gives us then the route through there. So it's just normally put an hour and a half down there, or we can go a slightly different way which is a bit longer, but doesn't make much sense unless there's any road works there. So that gives us the details there. So we'll call it 70 miles and an hour and a half for round figures. So we go back to our sheet and put 1 hour 30 minutes. And the cost of the campsite booking was £28 plus the pounds, so that's £29. And we paid in full, so the balance is zero, and the date booked is the 4th of the 1st 22. And then any notes, I just put paid in full on booking via website. Holidays required, it's kind of an optional couple of columns there. It's how many holidays you use up to take it, so I just put 1 day and then just 1 in there. So you can keep a total then at the bottom here on the number of nights booked, the total cost balances to pay, and the number of days holidays needed. Again, that's optional because some people are perhaps retired or whatever and don't need to book holidays from work. For us, we need to book holidays, so we just find that quite useful just to keep a tally of it. So that's our first night logged. What we're going to do now is go over to the calendar and just mark it on there. So we're on March, so let's pop it in on the 23rd, and I'm just going to use this blue colour to mark it in, and that's our Wednesday night marked up on the calendar as well, so we can start to see that as we do more bookings fill in. Again, this template's available on the website and the link's in the description below. So now we'll go back to the search for sites to book our next site, so we can close that one down. So there's the site we've just booked, and let's just zoom out a little bit and have a look where we want to go to on the second day. When we need to refresh and look in a different area, we can just hit that little icon there and it'll redraw in the sites relevant to that area. So let's have a look now. How about this site, Coniston Park, Coppice? So let's click on here to go into more details, and like we saw before, we can see there this site gets 7.68, but still pretty good. Let's go to the club site and let's make the booking. There's a special offer there, 50% off midweek. So let's book a touring pitch. And what we can see here is we can see the pitch availability as we go through there, and we've got 2 types of pitch: hard standing with awning and hard standing without awning. So let's go for hard standing without awning, because probably not going to use the awning in March, and we want the follow-on day, so let's pick the 24th of March to the 25th, and you notice there you just click the days you require, and if you remember, you click member booking. If you're a non-member, which we'll click, let's pop our email address in there, and then we go through the details then. Who's going? 2 adults, no children, no infants. Then you fill your name in, your mobile number, your address, and then your outfit details. So it's motorhome in that case, 6 meters, 2 axles, and then you go on to next and then complete your booking. So similar to the previous. So what we'll do now is we'll just copy a couple of bits from here and we'll pop them into our tracker. So we'll just mark that up because we're in. So we've got the 24th, and then we'll just pop the campsite name in. There, campsite address. Pop the postcode in a minute. So that's the 25th, 3rd, 22, 26th of the 3rd, 22. Number of nights 1. And what we're going to do now is just go back to our site, and we're just going to go back a step in this case. Let's copy that address there, take it back into our we also need the postcode, so copy that separately. And what we want to do now is see the distance between those two. So if we go back to our Google Maps and I'm going to switch them around, this is going to change that to that postcode, and that'll give us the distance between the sites. So it's 49 minutes and it's about 25 miles. So we'll go back there, 25 miles, and the cost of the booking, and actually check that one to see how much it was, but let's put in £25, and the balance in that case would be £25. Then we just update the holidays, and then when we look down there we've got 2 holidays, 2 days, and there's the total. So the next site we're going to look at is Bowness on Windermere, which is a camping and caravanning club site. So let's hop over to their website and have a look. That's closed for refurbishment in 2021. Oh dear, that's not such a good one, I don't think, but let's try going to book and see what happens. So we've got a campervan, 6 meters, no awning, check in, let's say the 25th to the 26th. No space. So let's take a look at a different type of site, so maybe pick a pub one. So let's have a look at Metal Bridge Inn, 8.71 stars, that was pretty good. And then in this instance we can give them a call. It does say pre-booked motorhomes only, so it does mean there that we need to pre-book that one, but there's some useful information there, so we'll give them a call and see if we can book in there. So let's transfer that booking across now. So we'll go to our Excel, and that's the 26th of the 3rd 22 to the 27th of the 3rd 22, 1 night, and that's Metal Bridge Inn. I'm going to put Carlisle down there, and pop the address in. And if that moves along, you can just drop that down there. Tidy it up. I've got the postcode elsewhere, so we lose it from there. And there we go. And the cost there was £10. Just to pay when there, and again we'll put the date booked. So and then 1 day holiday required. So that gives you an idea on what to do there, and then we'll just update the calendar, and what we'll do is just pop a blue one in there, and I'm going to put a dark blue one in there that just reminds us we're travelling back home from there. So that's booking campsites using a little template. Again, you can get creative with this. Really clever people would make it so it automatically fills in the calendar, but I think sometimes the effort doesn't justify the end, does it, on those things? So that's booking campsites using, in that case, search for sites, but there's plenty of other different apps or websites and things you can use to find that, but that's just an example of how we'd go through the booking. Thank you for watching. I hope you found that useful. Don't forget you can get the templates from our website if you go to leisurebit.co.uk and then head for the help and support section, and you'll find the links to the Excel document, the Word document, and also an example of the Excel one. Hope you find those useful and helpful. And if you've got any tips, because we won't have nailed it completely, I'm sure someone's got some great tips that actually lift it a level above, please let us know. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. You take care, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.